Mom, what happened to Grandma?
She went to sleep, honey.
To sleep? Mom, I don't understand. Death is hard, and the conversation about death with your child can be even harder. But the love you have for your child will make it easier to talk with them. As death is often seen as a taboo subject, parents and guardians don't always feel comfortable discussing this topic. This is a guide for parents and guardians on how to handle the topic of death and dying with their children. Grief doesn't go away when it is ignored, but rather when it is expressed. Avoidance can cause the child to be fearful of the topic. By not talking about death, your child may be less likely to come to you about their questions and concerns. By not showing your feelings, your child may imagine the worst. Avoidance and not showing your feelings can lead to stress and worry in your child about how they should feel and act. This may cause your child to be even more confused about what death is. It's okay to express your feelings and to cry in front of your child. This shows them that their feelings are okay and that they don't need to hide them. By taking the time to address death, you open up communication between you and your child, which in turn will help them understand death better. It is important for the communication to be simple and brief as to not confuse the child. Sometimes you might want to soften the word death by saying something like, "Grandma went to sleep for a long time." This could cause the child to associate going to sleep with death and therefore fearing sleep. When you talk to your child, it is important to be honest and to use clear terms to avoid confusion. Use the terms death, dying, and dead so your child understands and associates the terms correctly. A way to make this process easier is to use an analogy. For example, death is like a robot's batteries that have died. Following the robot's death, the robot can no longer work and the batteries cannot be replaced. Don't panic, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's best to be honest with your child. By letting them know that you aren't sure of an answer shows them that you're willing to admit that you don't have all the answers. Acknowledging death in all of its forms allows the child to give meaning to death. Even the death of a goldfish can be devastating. It is important to acknowledge and validate your child's feelings. Ceremonies, such as a funeral, can be a very meaningful way to help a child cope and understand the reality of death. Spirituality is an important component to understanding what happens after death. Each family has a different understanding of what spirituality means to them. Your beliefs and values can help shape the way your child feels about death and what happens after. Likewise, at home, you can do things with your child that can provide meaning and value to death. Ways to encourage your child to focus on happy, meaningful memories can be going through photographs, drawing pictures, or holding a funeral. Understanding death can take time. Revisiting grave sites, openly talking about death, and providing time to process their loss is important. Modeling grieving to your child can help them through the grieving process. This will teach them that these feelings are normal after death. Grieving can come in different forms, like sadness, anger, and shock. It is important to support your child in whatever they grieve. Where you decide to talk about death will impact what your child will take away from the conversation. It's important to have a setting that is comfortable and private, but that isn't distracting. Therefore, it should be a place that is familiar to your child, where they can feel safe and at ease. This environment may help the child be more open and willing to discuss their feelings. You know your child the best, and this conversation will be different for every family and every child. Like we said, death isn't easy, but it's best to be honest and open with your child. We understand that this video may not answer all of your questions, but we hope this helps you start the conversation.